Welcome to another episode of the Home and Away podcast. I'm Caleb Lawrence, joined as always by my brother and co-host Jacob Cobby. How are we doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling, just hanging out. Your special guest on your end looked like he was intrigued whenever you started to introduce the pod.
He wasn't ready for the talking, were you, buddy? If you can't see, if you're not on video, joined here by Karsten. And then we are also joined by another special guest here, one of our good friends, one of Cobb's best friends since childhood, and a very close friend of mine as well, Zack Lehnen. Zach, thank you for joining us. Good to have you on here, brother. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. Always good to be back on the pod.
Absolutely, absolutely. A repeat guest. What is this? The first
Second
repeat
time.
guest? Second repeat
Yeah.
guest.
Second time I've been
He's
on. Yeah.
or did Spence didn't come on the first time we had
No,
our
Spence never. So he might be the first repeat guest.
Yeah, he might be the first repeat guest, man. He's our resident NBA expert. I think we had him
Right.
on last time to break
talk
down
about
the
NBA stuff.
playoff bracket. I think we all
Yeah.
made our own playoff bracket. So he's literally like the only person I know that watches League Pass more than anybody I know. So had to have him on with all the recent NBA news going
He's
on.
probably the only person I know that has League Pass, honestly.
Yeah, for real. Anyone that has League Pass.
Dude, up here, people are like, you just gotta watch the T-Wolves. And I'm like, no, I will not be doing that. No, thank you.
No.
We
No.
don't this isn't 1995. We don't play with two bigs anymore.
Yeah. They're terrible.
They've been
Thanks,
worse
though.
this year, huh? Since they made that big trade in the offseason.
That might be one of the worst trades. Like,
Bro.
for real.
Yeah.
Because
Jazz
they-
Least, man.
the Jazz absolutely came out big. And the crazy thing is, when that draft first happened, I told somebody, I was like, bro, Walker Kessler's the same player as Rudy Gobert.
Basically, yeah.
And so when they traded, when the Timberwolves traded him, I was like, why did they not just keep their draft pick? Like, you literally just got the best shot blocker in college basketball, who's like a big, 7'1" dude who can just guard in the paint and can't shoot outside the paint. He does the same exact thing for Rudy Gobert, and he's doing it this year with the Jazz. He's averaging like over 2 blocks a game, I think. He's having a great season.
They could have got DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, literally.
It would have been way better.
Would have been way better. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking getting Rudy Gobert, but
I
it is
mean,
what it is.
At one point, Rudy Gobert was a monster. Now, who cares?
Yeah, he's not that. Yeah, he's been he's been hurt this season, and he's been just bad in general.
And also, hot take, but I think I don't like Cat at all. So,
nah, it's not a hot take.
I don't like Cat at all.
Dude,
I have the same
unlikable.
feeling about Cat, and I voice it loudly to the people up here as I do about Kirk Cousins. You can't win with him as your star player. Can't win with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback. Can't win with Cat as your best player. Not gonna happen.
I
Cat
think,
doesn't have a dog in him.
I mean, I like Cat's game because he's such a good shooter and so skilled as a big man. But I just think I don't know, bro. Just some of the extracurriculars cracks me up, bro. Like whenever they won that playing game and he was bowing, he was blowing kisses to the crowd like he just won the finals.
He played like shit too. He was so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't even good. Yeah,
I don't know. That stuff's just funny to me, and it's and then the Jimmy Butler saga there, whenever he was just basically sunned Cat, it's just man, you got to have a little bit of pride to you, my guy. I don't know. But before we get into too much NBA talk, Zach, let's just get an update on what's been going on in your life lately. I mean, I know you graduated with your degree in photography, and for a while you were on the job hunt there doing some freelance, but now you've got you've got a job now that you seem to be liking a lot and seem to have some pretty cool opportunities come out of. If you can speak on that and what it's been like, we'd love for you to speak on it a little bit.
Yeah, it was I work for I work as a contractor for Anheuser-Busch now. On a small team. We're basically an in-house communication team for the wholesalers. So if you don't, work in the beer industry or work for Anheuser-Busch, their number one thing that they're super proud of is their wholesaler network. I believe it's they have 400 plus wholesalers throughout the United States. Basically for, every part of each state, they got to have so many wholesalers. And that's Anheuser-Busch sells their beer to the wholesalers. wholesalers sell it to the retailers sell it to the customer. So pretty much once they get to wholesalers, it's kind of out of their hands. They already made their money. So we're kind of like, we produce content, communication, different things for the wholesalers. Like we produce a TV show that airs weekly. That kind of just explains like different things for the wholesalers. Like, hey, new packaging is coming out. We want you, Anheuser-Busch wants you to do this, this, and this in your market. New whatever's coming out, do this, this, and this, and the wholesalers can watch it. And they're like, okay, perfect. Now we know what to do for this. And then we produce another show that comes out monthly, I believe, and it goes more in depth on different things, just kind of highlighting like new things that are happening with certain brands, or different things like that, new collabs that might be happening, just other things throughout the company. And then that comes out like monthly, but it still airs throughout the entire month, even though it only drops like once a month. And then the wholesalers can just watch that at their operations, and they're kind of in the loop, and they don't really have to reach out or anything. They just kind of know. And then we also do like in-house communication in case like someone wants to shoot something and they just need it to go out to the company. Then we can just shoot it for them, and they can just send it out to the company. Different things like that. But so far so good. So
it's been pretty neat probably getting to see some of like the behind the scenes of just like how that operation works, with it being like basically like the hugest operation probably in the area, in the St. Louis area, something that like has kids growing up, like you hear Busch Stadium and stuff, like, and like just that name means a lot, I feel like, for the area. So to be able to work that closely, and probably see some things before they even come out and stuff, some products and whatnot. It's got to be pretty cool. And I know recently you were in LA for an event. It was like a wholesaler event, correct? And you got to see you got to shoot, and I mean, maybe have a conversation with a couple of like pretty cool athletes and stuff. I know you mentioned like you got to take some photos of like, who was it? Like Byron Buxton and Tim Howard and stuff. And that had to be pretty cool, especially like, I mean, you're a pretty big soccer fan, like growing up, like meeting Tim Howard. He's basically like, you can argue he's probably the most famous like men's national team player ever. Just to be in his presence and see him and stuff had to be
Put some
pretty
respect
cool.
on Landon Donovan's name, bro.
I said arguably. I think you could argue that.
Yeah, you could. You probably could. Yeah, we were in Anaheim for, I guess, kind of like almost like a big sales meeting, but it's kind of just like the big meeting for the wholesalers that they kind of put on to just kind of showcase kind of the end to a good 2022, kind of what's to look ahead for 2023 and maybe a few years ahead after that. Kind of just showcase new things, have like booths and everything that people can interact with games and see new products or new stuff that's coming out. They give away, free stuff, all kinds of stuff. But it's kind of for the company too. I mean, a lot of people from the company get to come because they put on the stuff, or they get to, relax a little bit too and come out. But they have meetings and all kinds of stuff with it, as well as like the whole immersion experience where people just get to go around and hang out. But they usually, they'll bring a couple celebrities in or different things. So meeting Tim Howard was definitely pretty cool, because I mean, that's like soccer royalty for the United States. He was like the first guy to play over in Europe, from the men's national team. Everyone else was playing in the MLS. And so when you were a kid, you're like, damn, that guy's really good because he's playing in Europe. So meeting him was pretty cool. And then meeting Byron Buxton was sweet too. I mean, I'm not a huge baseball guy, but still, I mean, I knew Byron Buxton. So and he was like the nicest guy ever. So that made it even better. Both him and Tim were super nice. So that was a cool experience for sure.
Where would that rank kind of your favorite things you got to either shoot or like events you've been a part of so far?
That would probably be up there. It's either top one or two for sure. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff we've gotten to shoot or experience. Like I've gotten to go to the Bush Mansion at Grant's Farm. Like just some cool things like that like normal people wouldn't have access to or wouldn't be able to go to. So there's little things like that have been sweet to be able to just see kind of the behind the scenes or get almost like a VIP tour of some of these places that regular people wouldn't get, or access to certain things even on campus that regular people can't see. But it's been a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, I look forward to I look forward to whenever you call me sometimes on the way home from work after you like got to do something pretty fun and we just get to talk about it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely look forward to it. When I see the phone ring and I see your name, I'm like, okay, I know he probably got something to tell me about. That was probably pretty like neat going on at work this week or something, you know? So, um, man, I don't know. I'm proud of you, bro. I mean, I feel like you're
Thank you,
doing your
thank you.
thing. I know
Yeah,
like when you was going through the job search, it was like you kind of stuck to your guns. You're like, I want to do something that I'll actually enjoy. And you know, a lot of people would probably just go get like a set job just to get a set job. You're like, screw it, I'll freelance
Mhm.
and I'll find some things here and there until until I can find something I'd really love. And it seems like you're loving it so far. So good for you, bro.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
I see the gaming setup looks nice too. First apartment, man.
Yes, sir.
How has that experience been for you? It's been good and everything.
Yeah, it's been good so
Settling in.
far. I mean, it's pretty chill over here. Over here, it's nothing exciting really happening. But it's been nice just kind of having my own place, especially having a girlfriend now. Just being able to relax over here and kind of do our own thing in our own little space. So it's been fun though.
Heck yeah.
Just
Yeah.
uh,
Get on
it's
that
closer to
PC when you
work.
want.
It's closer to work too. I mean, Edwardsville's popping now, so Chick-fil-A is about to be done in a few weeks here.
Ooh,
So
I didn't
we.
know they were getting Chick-fil-A.
yeah, about
Y'all got Smoothie King over there too, huh?
yeah, we got Smoothie King, we got Chick-fil-A, we just got
Hawaiian Bros.
Bros.
Wine Bros
Yeah,
slaps. Huh?
just got that. Yeah,
Chipotle.
yeah, we just got one of those too, like within the
Last
last two
summer
years.
or something.
Okay, Edwardsville.
Yeah, Edwardsville's really starting to blow up a little bit. So we got kind of a little bit of everything here now. And all that stuff is like 2 minutes from my apartment. So anywhere I need to go, I'm just right here. Walmart, Target, Schnucks, all within like 3 minutes of my apartment. So it's just
Heck
like
yeah.
kind of like right in the central area, and then I'm right by the highway, so I can just hop on when it's time to go to work. And it's a little closer from where I was in Bethalto, and I'm closer to my girlfriend too, so
Win-win.
it's a kind of a win-win, yeah. So
Love it. And
Definitely.
I know we want to dive into some basketball stuff here, but I'd be remiss if I didn't turn us in a sneaker direction to start us off. So if that's all right with you, I'd love to do that. I know
for
Zach's a
sure.
sneaker guy as well. Cobb and I,
Yeah.
we talk about sneakers about every pod on here. So Tiffany Air Force Ones, I need some thoughts, feelings. Just kind of toss them out there. If you don't have any to start with, I can start, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the Tiffany Air Force One collab.
So when I first saw them, I was like, man, those are kind of ugly for real. I mean, I don't know, the all black with the like Tiffany, that's just hard to match. I feel like just because that Tiffany blue is so hard to match. But then when LeBron debuted him at Madison Square Garden, I mean, he had the full fit. He had the Tiffany Letterman on too. So like obviously it was perfect, but they did look a lot better on feet, which I feel like there's a lot of shoes like that where you first see the picture, you're like, those are terrible. And then when you actually see them either in person or on feet, you're like, okay, those are a lot better. So I will say they looked better on feet, but well, I'd like to see them in person to kind of see what kind of the black material is to kind of really feel them. But
I saw some close-ups and it looked like it was like some real like high quality like leather, like
Right.
the what's it called? Like the marbled leather or whatever. Is that what it's called? Or am I tripping? You know what I'm talking about? Where it's got like some texture to it and everything.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called though.
Yeah, but that probably was not right. But I saw them and I was like, okay, like they're a nice looking sneaker, but they were just like underwhelming for like, I don't know. I don't know why I was expecting more. Like, I don't know why I was expecting something like more interesting than just like all black with a Tiffany blue swoosh. And they put
Yep.
like I guess they're $400 retail. That's kind of why I was like underwhelmed, I think. But I also wonder what you get with them, like what little accessories you get with them, and that the silver
The
Tiffany,
Tiffany
like,
silver on the back.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's real silver on the back, I
Mhm.
guess. So that's also another part of it. And I will say LeBron's fit was tough with them. And
Bronze fit was crazy.
that Letterman's jacket, I heard that it's like a certain type of jacket that they used to use for a bunch of promos. Like I saw a TikTok, some dude was talking about it. You may have even sent it to me,
Mhm.
Zach. But he was saying that like Nike used to make these Letterman jackets all the time for different promos and stuff. And so he saw like the Tiffany one, and he was like used to be in marketing for Nike. And so he's hoping that like that's like a sign of the future, because like they were pretty clean, and like
Yeah.
some pretty cool designs that he was pulling up and showing, like form designs. And I thought that Letterman jacket was dope. So I hope they do that.
I personally, and I guess Zach's kind of navigated to this area a little bit. I thought they were fire first time I saw them. Like I think they're super fire. I like the fact that like I agree that it's tough to match with, but like I think just having the Tiffany blue swoosh makes it like a lot easier. Like if it was an all Tiffany blue sneaker or like something different, like yeah, you have to really like match it hard. Like, but when it's just the Tiffany blue swoosh, I think you have some different options. And like I think the shoe, I saw a sample that came out that was mostly Tiffany blue, and people like said it was a lot better. But I think in reality, if you go like full Tiffany blue on the shoe, I don't think it's as popular. Like,
No.
I don't think it hits as hard. And I know like the Tiffany Dunk, which is like an extremely popular shoe in the history of whatever, but like had a lot more Tiffany blue on it. But I think the cleanliness of this one, super fire. The silver on the back, super fire. The one like complaint that I've seen is like whatever it's called, the Dubray or whatever, the little lace thing that the AF ones all have.
Oh yeah.
You can buy part of the accessory pack is a silver one of those, and people said that it like should come on the shoe. But the only thing with that is like it's gonna make the sneaker more expensive at that point anyway, because
Exactly, and they're
more
already
silver on it.
400.
So like the fact that it has silver is, I mean, it's one of the designer collabs, so it's gonna be expensive anyway. It has some silver on it, so like 400. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna try and cop them. Like I might try and flip, but I'm definitely gonna try and buy them for sure.
Did you see like the toothbrush that they're gonna release, the silver toothbrush for like
Yeah, I saw
$200
that. Yeah, I saw that.
and
It's
some
actually
other
kind of
stuff?
hard.
The shoehorn too,
Yeah,
fire, bro.
just random though, super
I
random.
know.
Like
So
that,
hard though.
it reminds me of those like Supreme drops where they would just like drop like a brick or drop like a step stool, you know, or like something just random. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Supreme drops everything. Bro, I've seen like Kleenex and shit with Supreme on it.
Yeah, they drop anything.
Supreme on it.
Zach, what's your like grail sneaker that you don't have? Like if like what's one sneaker that we were talking about this with Nick last pod. So what's one
That's
sneaker
one.
you would like to have?
That's a tough one for real. I mean, one of the grail sneakers I actually own, so it's not even it's not a grail anymore because I own it. But
Which one?
The shattered backboard aways.
Yeah.
Those were a grail. Caleb actually picked those up with me. Some dude
yes,
in South
sir.
City. But that's a tough one. I actually really like the all black like mesh off-white Air Force ones. You know what I'm talking about, like the all black almost mesh ones. They're all black and they got I think it might even be the silver logo. But I really like those ones, or the CDG Air Force ones with the split Nike swoosh. The black ones with the white and the Nike swoosh is like split like this.
Oh, I think I've seen those.
Those actually aren't that expensive either. Like I think they're like $500-600. So those would be gettable. And the off-white ones you'd have to save a little bit for. But I also, when the 10 came out, because I know on the pod with Nick, you guys were all talking about the 10. When the 10 for Virgil dropped, I wanted the black and white Prestos so bad. I wanted the
those
black
are
and white
fire.
Prestos so bad. Like I used to have a pair of Prestos like way back in the day. They were like olive green and they were so comfy. But I remember just when those dropped, I was like, man, if I get any of these 10, I want the Prestos so bad. And then they came out with the all white pair, which I didn't really like the all white pair of the Prestos, but I thought the black and like, because it almost wasn't even like a true white, it was more of a cream, but they were perfect.
Yeah, those
you
are
still rock the
clean.
shatter backboards?
Do I ever rock them?
Do you still rock them? Yeah, are they still in good shape?
Yeah.
Beauty.
Don't you have the purple lobsters too?
I do.
Yeah, those are fire. Those are probably my favorite pair that you have is the purple lobsters. I know you're
he's grabbing them right now.
He got the storage containers.
That boy got some 990s right there too. I can see he looking like that.
No, I think those are. Yeah, the purple lobsters are my favorite ones that you've got.
Yeah, those
so
are fire.
clean.
What's your most worn sneaker?
Probably these for real. Probably these right here for real. I can't even see them. Camera.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are
they'll go
fire.
with everything.
My most worn because it comes with 3 pairs of laces. Nike sign, removable. Flip up in the back that says diamond. Can't really see it hardly, probably in the camera.
We got the Diamond
Yeah,
Supply
Diamond
Code,
Supply Co. Dunks.
Got the
the
diamond on the top too.
the maker of the original Tiffany
Mhm.
Dunks,
Yes, sir.
un unapproved by Tiffany.
Yeah. hmm Yeah, that's probably my most worn for real, just because it goes with everything, and you can swap the laces out. Um, and they're just clean with the white and silver, and the white's actually it's like alligator skin on them or something. So and those were I actually didn't pay that much for those when they dropped, and now they're up to I want to say like 800.
Dang. Yeah, I remember whenever you got
Probably
those for you
flip
got those
those.
a long time ago though, didn't you?
Yeah, I got those probably like 3-4 years ago, maybe even longer.
Yeah, I feel like you've had them for a really long time. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I just remember like you rocking them a lot. Those ones and the shatter backboard away, right? Isn't that what they are?
Yep. hmm
Cobb, your
The sh-
sneakers came in yet?
I don't know.
You didn't check with Riley?
No, you should have told her, bro, because she don't check her mail.
I told her they was coming to her house. I don't know if they came in yet though.
No, I'm saying you should have told her like when they're gonna come because one time I shipped her something and it sat there for 2 weeks in the mailbox
Dang.
outside of her apartment because I didn't tell her that it was there. So yeah, maybe tell her.
Yeah, let me
But they
check.
would probably drop that off at the door though, so it wouldn't fit in the mailbox.
Probably,
So she probably see it.
probably.
But let's move on a little bit to NBA, a little bit of NBA talk here.
hmm
Um, let's first, we talked about you got to meet like one of your maybe idols in sports and Tim Howard. Let's talk about one of your favorite players of all time, favorite athletes of all time. Let's talk about LeBron, man, and his chase right now of the points record. I think as of today, he's 36 points away, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So
Yeah.
Is that
36
is that a
points,
single game thing or what?
36 points away right now. Going into the Thunder game, I think, is the next game, right on what is it, Monday night or something like that?
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday, one of the two.
So by the time this pod comes out, LeBron James could potentially
Could be
be the
there.
all-time career leader in points scored.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that? What does this do for LeBron's what do you think this does for LeBron's legacy, his GOAT status? Because to me, bro, you got to just give it to him at this point.
I mean, for me, I already thought he was the GOAT after the 2016 finals. I was like, yeah, he's the greatest player ever. And then he just added everything he's done since then has just furthered the argument for me. Getting another ship, another finals MVP, getting and then breaking the scoring record. Also, he passed Steve Nash and Mark Jackson for top 5 in assists now all time. So he's going to be the first player that's going to be top 5 in assists, #1 leading scorer, and he'll be top 5 in rebounds, I believe, too. So he's going to be the first player to be top 10 in 3 categories, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then he's also going to be the first player. He's not only going to pass Kareem, he's going to be the first player to get 40,000 points because he's going to play for another 3. He already said the other day that he's going to play for another 3-4 years.
And he's
He'll easily
averaging
get
30
40.
right now.
Yeah, he's averaging. So he's easily going to get 40,000 points, which will be ridiculous to think about. I don't know what he's going to end his career at, but it'll probably be like 42, 43,000 maybe, somewhere around there. And I don't know if that's ever going to get broken, because to get broken, you're going to have to not only play 20 plus seasons, but you're going to have to average over 27 a game for 30, for 25 seasons probably. I don't know if that happens again.
Yeah, the longevity is unmatched for sure. Like
Mhm.
to be able to do it at that level for that long, I don't think that's happening.
Mm.
I think the
No.
biggest argument that a lot of people have too is like, oh, well, MJ would have broke it too if he would have just like played and not taken a break or whatever, or played like as long as LeBron, he would have. But to me, it's like that's part of like his legacy is that like he's been able to play at the highest level for longer than anybody in the history of basketball. Like Kareem kind of did the same thing. Like he played at such a high level for such a long time. Like he had like a 20-year NBA career, if I'm not mistaken, as well, and was like scoring a lot of points every year too. But for him to like have, did he end up winning the score? He didn't win the scoring title last year, did he? But he was like what, top
No, but
three?
he was like top 3. I think he lost it. I think he was like he ended up like not qualifying because he didn't play enough games. But I think
Yeah,
he lost. He was like 0.3 behind Joel Embiid.
but still
I
to
think
average
he
like
would've won
30
it.
points at what, like 37 years old. And
Yep.
then every year it seems like I don't know, every year you kind of expect him to fall off or something, but like he just never does.
He just doesn't.
And
Right.
and the thing that's crazy to me is the thing that's wild to me is that each year we still talk about him being the best player in the NBA. And he's 38 years old now, right? Like who, like in my lifetime, I don't remember like anybody. And like, I don't know if anybody's ever talked about like a 38-year-old being the best player in the NBA. Like, that's just crazy to me. I just
Or
don't,
even in any sport,
in any sport,
or
really,
38 year old,
Besides Tom Brady,
besides
maybe.
Tom
And
Brady. But
Aaron Rodgers, I think, was
even then, for the
38 last
last
year. But
even for the last like 5 years, though, Tom Brady hasn't been the best quarterback.
Right.
He won a championship in the last 5 years, but he's not the best quarterback anymore.
yeah,
That's what's ridiculous. It's like even though he's 38 years old, I mean he's still averaging 30 a game. He still gets set to the standards if this was 2010 LeBron,
yeah, that is true.
which is like even more crazy. Like they just still no one cuts him a break.
I think that. So, do we think he's the best player in the league though? Right now?
No,
Okay.
Right now, no, I don't think no.
I was just making sure. Like, I think he's in the conversation, obviously, but like,
Yeah.
I think it's been a few years since realistically he's been like a top player in
Yep.
the league. But like the numbers he still puts up is right up there. And I think part of that is obviously the Lakers are down. So if they don't have LeBron, they're literally in so much trouble. Like, but yeah, dude, the level of play and the consistency of it is it's unbelievable to the point where like I think LeBron is the best player of all time, right? For some reason, when I think of the GOAT, my mind just goes to Michael Jordan. Like when you say GOAT, it's Michael Jordan. But when I think of the best basketball player of all time, it's LeBron James. I don't know how that makes sense, but that's just the way it flows for me. But no, LeBron is, I don't know, man. Like I saw him play in person twice now. You saw him, did you see him play once, Zach?
I've seen him 3 times. I saw
Three
him
times?
2 weeks ago play.
That's what I thought.
I saw him when I was in LA.
Dude, the fact, like, when you see him in person at this, like, he is unbelievable, bro. It's because it's like 22 to 27-year-old dudes like doing wild shit, and then all of a sudden LeBron does it also, and you're like, hang on, he's almost 40 now, like,
Yep.
and he's doing the same exact stuff as these guys. Like, it's insane, bro.
And I think for people that have never seen LeBron in person, like TV or pictures does not do him justice. That dude is big.
Massive.
I mean, huge. Like he does not. I know they list him at like 6'8". I think he's taller than 6'8" in person because like even like in warmups when he's standing next to AD, he's not 3-4 inches shorter than AD.
And he's
And
built like a brick wall, bro.
And literally, and he's every bit of 250. I mean, even at age 38, he is a train. I mean, he's still cut.
It's crazy. And you can tell, like, it's so funny that the moments where, because he's turned into much more of like a jump shooter now, and like he gets a lot of points taking jump shots. You can like see the moments where he like gets pissed or somebody kind of tests him, and he just goes straight to the rim and punches on somebody, and you're like, oh, it's still there. Like he can't do it for 48 minutes anymore, but it's still there.
But he can still do it every once in a while.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's cracks.
I will say though, this year he is having the worst 3-point shooting year like in the history of the NBA, I think.
He's
which is crazy because he had like, if you remember last year, at one point he was shooting like 40%, I think, on like 8 attempts per game or something. And I was like, man, LeBron's like jumper is looking great. And then it ended up going down, but I think he still shot over like 35%, which is respectable. And like he's been shooting it pretty well for the last 10 years of his career, I would say. And then all of a sudden this year, dude, he is just horrible from the beyond the arc. But
he's awful. I mean, he's shooting, I think, like 29% right now, or like right at 30%. But I think he's at like 9.5 3-point attempts a game,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
he's getting them up.
ridiculous.
He's
Which
He's
is
getting things up.
ridiculous. I don't
He's
even
getting
think Dame or Steph is shooting 10 a game,
right.
like averaging that. I mean, he's
He's getting
definitely,
them up.
but he's had a couple games the last like few weeks where he's 4 of 10, 5 of 9, where
Yeah.
he's gotten a little better. But he's gonna have to like do that consistently to
He'll,
get his percentage and not be so bad. But
he'll
he
probably get over
lets that thing fly.
30% at least. He'll get over
Yeah.
30% at least. But
Mm-hmm.
while we're on the Lakers, we may as well talk about recently Kyrie Irving requesting the trade. One, if you're in the NBA, do you want Kyrie on your team? Like, can you trust him? Like, I feel like if I'm an NBA player right now, like I don't know if I trust him to like be there for me and for the squad. Like, how many trades has this dude requested? Like I understand, like he 100% has the right to request a trade. I'm all for player movement, and like that's he can do that and he can demand that, and and the Nets are kind of doing the right thing. Like they're waiting until they get what they think they deserve for him. I respect that, but it's just like as a player, as a teammate, as a coach, it's like, man, like what I got to do to make this dude happy to like so I can like trust him to like be here and be involved and like want to be on this team for the long term. I think that's a tough thing with Kyrie, but I will say, I'll take him on the Lakers, because I'm a Lakers fan since last year. My boy Austin Reeves, so I had to root for the Lakers, so I'll take him on the Lakers right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah, I think it's he asked for, I think he was asking for like a 4-year, 195 or $198 million extension is what he was like looking for, but he wanted all these like guarantees in his contract, and the
Mm-hmm.
Nets were, I think did some of them, but maybe not all of them, and basically Kyrie was just like, yeah, if you don't want to do all those, I'm out of here. I'm not trade me, and I'm not signing back in free agency, which is fair. I think the hard thing for a team is how much do you want to give up knowing that he might not sign back with you.
Right.
Yeah.
I think some teams are looking at more doing like I think the Lakers said they want to sign Kyrie to the same deal they did LeBron, which was like 2 years, 95 million or something with a player option. So then they can kind of just run it year to year instead of 4 years, 198. But I think it'll be, I just don't know what's out there for him trade wise. I mean, I just don't think the Nets are going to get what they're asking for, because he's kind of just tarnished his availability or what he's willing to do for a team. So I think they're gonna have to lower their asking price if they want to get a trade done.
So is his contract up at the end of this year?
Yeah.
So he's kind of just like he could even be a rental because it's not guaranteed that he's gonna sign back with you. So you can't really give up a ton for him. But like if I'm the Nets, if he already said, hey, well then I'm not gonna sign back with you in free agency, you may as well take whatever you can get at this point.
Exactly.
Just say, hey,
Right.
even if it's it's one first or something, or one first and just like a solid player, like I would take that just to like get something out of him so I don't just lose him for nothing in free agency whenever that time comes.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Like, because obviously you take Kyrie Irving, the basketball player. Like
100%.
every team takes Kyrie Irving, the basketball player.
Any day of the week. He's averaging
Yep.
33 a game over his last 10,
Yeah.
40% from three and like 58% from the field.
Dude's
I'll take that
insane.
any day on my team.
As long and he's like playing fairly consistently this year. Like he's on the floor. So like I think most teams realistically take that, and like it's a matter of, like you said, what you have to give up for essentially a rental, unless you feel like you have a good chance of signing him, which I feel like when you look at it just broadly as quickly as possible, like the Lakers and how he was able to play with LeBron previously, like that feels like a place where they could re-sign him, because I don't know, I feel like when Bron speaks, people listen, even when it's Kyrie, like he kind of carries some weight in that way. So possibly there, and they have the picks and stuff to give up for sure. So
Kyrie and AD are kind of boys, because when Kyrie went to Boston before AD got traded to the Lakers, there was all these rumors that AD was going to go to Boston because Kyrie wanted to play with AD, and then he ended up going to LA. And then after the game, when they played the Nets last week, or was that earlier this week when they played the Nets, Kyrie and AD were having a little chat after the game and kind of dapping each other up. And so I think he wants to, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have any ill will towards LeBron anymore, but I'm sure he wants to play with AD just as much as he wants to play with LeBron too.
I think it would be a good fit also because, like, Bron, Bron, like we said, has times where he can completely take over, and like there's times where he's the best player on the floor. But if he has somebody else that can carry a lot of the load, and when AD's healthy, AD's able to do that, but you can't rely on that. So if he has Kyrie who can like have the ball in his hands, and Bron doesn't have to play point guard and take 10 threes a game, like I think that puts everyone in a better position for the Lakers for sure.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
I definitely think Kyrie Irving's the best ball handler in the history of the NBA too. I just want to put that out there right now.
Yeah,
Got that thing on the
100%.
string for
I
sure.
think
100%.
the only person I look at comparable to him is probably Allen Iverson. I think that, to me at least, but he is absolutely a magician with a rock in his hand.
Yeah, that thing's insane.
What?
Insane.
I know we talked about this the other day. But I think the crazy thing is the state of the NBA right now is like in a really good place because like it's so competitive on both sides. Like if you look at the Western Conference like standings, like 4 through 10 or whatever is like basically
I think it's like 3
difference of like
games.
3 games. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 games separate like the 4th through the 12th seed or something.
Yeah.
So
And the
any team
Eastern
goes on a win streak, bam.
Right.
Yeah, and I think there was only I was just looking at it, and I think there's 3 teams is all. There's 3 teams that have multiple All-Stars, I think. And it was the
Mhm.
Celtics had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. The Nets had KD and Kyrie, and the who was the other one? There was one more. Oh, the Bucks had Drew Holiday and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So it's just like
Which Drew Holiday shouldn't have made it, but it's another conversation.
we'll have that conversation in a second. But I just think, to me, like we haven't seen that in a while. I feel like where there's such like a talent, like the talent is dispersed so evenly amongst the league, and like every team has like one all-star, but it's not like back in the day, like even a few years ago, where it's like the Warriors were gonna have 4 dudes in the All-Star game, like, or like whenever the Heat were gonna have 3 dudes in the All-Star game every year, like,
Mhm.
or the Celtics, whenever they first got their big 3, they had those 3, sometimes 4 if Rondo made it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's
Mhm.
just like it's completely kind of changed to where every team's competitive now. It seems like even teams that nobody expected to be competitive at the beginning of the year, like the Jazz.
Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, the Kings. I mean,
Mhm.
That's wicked.
it's honestly crazy. I think I don't know. Just speak on that. What do you think about this direction the NBA is going and the state of the NBA, the state of the NBA currently? And do you think it's good for the game to have this talent dispersion, or did y'all think it was better whenever there was a couple teams that were in these big markets that kind of had all the superstar players?
I like it better this way. Like it's more fun to watch because every game's a dogfight now. Because like for teams like the Lakers or the Trailblazers, they're 3 games out of being a 4th seed, which is home court advantage in your first matchup in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're fighting for that, and I think before it was like you just knew, all right, it's going to be Warriors and Cavs out of the East and Warriors out of the West. And why even play the season? This is who it's going to be. And that's who it was for 5 straight years or whatever. And even before that, you were like, well, it's going to be the Heat out of the East and maybe the Spurs, maybe the Mavericks, who knows, So it's kind of, I like having the parity where you kind of don't know. Like, I know the people are Celtics are the favorites, but I don't even know. The Bucks look good. The Sixers look good, and then out of the West is even more wide open. I mean, I don't think any team in the West, the Nuggets look good, but Nuggets are also very beatable. So it'll be an interesting playoffs or just an interesting finish to the season, especially with the play-in tournament now and having 10 teams. It's going to be a wild ride because any team goes on like a 5-game win streak and then bam, you're in the playoffs, up there. So it'll be interesting. I think everyone was tired of, as much as I enjoyed the super team era, I don't think anyone wants to see a KD on the Warriors type team again. That just
Yeah.
wasn't even fun. Like
Right.
that wasn't even fun as a fan. I mean, if you're a Warriors fan, that was fun. But if you're just a fan of the game of basketball, like that wasn't even fun to watch. No one wants to
No.
see that.
I agree. I think it's a lot more entertaining this way. Like you can I feel like previously there was so many times where there'd be a nationally televised NBA game and I just wouldn't ever watch it because like it was either 2 trash teams or it was like the Heat against literally anyone else, and you knew Braun was gonna go for like 40 and like they're gonna beat the shit out of him. Like you just
Mhm.
don't unless you specifically want to watch that person, or like I would watch the Warriors games because I like to watch Steph play, and like they were a lot of fun to watch. But like you probably turn it off at like halftime because they'd have 90 points and the other team would have like 60. So you're like, okay, this is pointless to watch. Now I feel like it's a lot more competitive. Like every game that's on, even if it's some random teams. No, I mean there's some teams that I still won't watch, but like, but for the most part, like everything's going to be fairly competitive, and you'll throw it on. Playoff time is going to be interesting. Like you get to the trade deadline here, and then playoffs, because of the fact that like not only like you said, everyone kind of is right there on the cusp of making the playoffs, but like you really got to make a decision now whether you want to try and be a bottom tier playoff team or whether you want to try and have a chance to get Victor Wembanyama, because that's like
Mm-hmm.
that's a franchise changer right there if you can get that. And like
Yep.
obviously the way that they've changed the lottery possibilities is you have to be really bad to have the best chance to get the number one pick or whatever. But I think anyone that's in the lottery feels like they have some type of opportunity. So you have to make a decision of whether you want to be like the 10 seed, the 8 seed, or if you want to try and pop into the lottery. So going to be interesting. But I definitely enjoy this more. Um, I think even if you get down to the end and it's like something that people projected, like it's the Celtics and the Warriors in the finals again, I think the way that you get there, or not again, you get it. So, like Celtics and Warriors in the final, I think even if you get there, the way you get there, it's interesting, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not
Mm-hmm.
just expected and you know what's going to happen. I think there's going
Yep.
to be some dogfights and you're going to have some entertainment getting to that point.
I I just think it makes the regular season a lot more enjoyable to watch too. Like just that there being talent in every single, like you said, like if it's a nationally televised game, like there's going to be talent on both teams, and it's going to be competitive usually. So I think it just, I mean, I just think it's great that this is happening in the NBA. And I think part of it is because the lottery has changed, you know, and there's not as many teams that are like, hey, we're just going to tank and we're gonna try and get the number one overall pick. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's everybody wants to win a little more. It seems
And with
like.
the plan too, I mean, you can be a terrible team and still have a chance to make the playoffs. Because
Yeah.
the
Right.
10th seed is you're probably going to have an under 500 record being the 10th seed,
Yep.
and you can still get in as the 8th seed. Which, I mean, you got to win 2 games, but I think that makes it a
I think that
little more
makes
crazy
people
too.
basically
Makes
there's
teams
two
want to
extra
fight a little more.
playoff spots now. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to get into the playoffs now.
Yeah,
Um, I think is it when is the All-Star game? Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, or is it this coming weekend?
it's the next weekend.
Okay, the next weekend. So All-Star game's coming up. Because this episode will come out on Wednesday, so I think it'll be, well, All-Star game's usually on Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be 2 Sundays from when this episode comes out. 2 Sundays from today is Sunday. 2 weeks from today. Uh, I know there was a lot of talk about snubs from the All-Star team, and things of that nature. I know a lot of people were talking about some of the biggest snubs being Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox. Also, we had who else? Who else wasn't in it? I think Harden. Harden, right? Harden was
Yeah,
snubbed,
Harden
Right.
was in it.
and
Jalen Brunson,
Jalen Brunson.
Pascal
So
Siakam.
Pascal's a big one.
Yeah.
I think Harden might be one of the biggest ones of all because I've seen recently they have him ranked as seventh on the MVP race. How are you going to be seventh, the seventh best player in the league essentially, and not be in the All Star game?
I need
Mm-hmm.
to start off by saying I won't hear any slander about Tyrese Halliburton shouldn't be in. Tyrese Halliburton's an all-star. So nobody better come for him.
But all right, so let's
I
go
will
around
say
right.
this.
Let's go around right
I,
now. Okay, go ahead. Say what you're
I
going to
said I
say
will say
first.
this. I saw a tweet the other day. I think it was Jalen Rose or something. He said, "You can't tell me who got snubbed in the All Star game without telling me who you would replace him." And I agree with that. You can't say,
That's
"Oh,
what.
that dude got snubbed." You got to
Yep.
pick someone to replace him
Yeah.
then, because if you just say you got snubbed, I could name 10 players right now that got snubbed. But when you got to actually name someone to replace them, then it lowers the list down. You're like, okay, maybe that guy
Yeah.
didn't get snubbed.
Right. Exactly. It's a good point. It's a good
All right,
point.
I think we should go around and we should say who we think the biggest snub is, and who we would replace from the All Star team with that person. So if
Go
you
ahead and
guys have
start
something in
then.
mind, you go first. But if not, I'll go first. And to me, I think the biggest stub is James Harden. And I think James Harden is at this point right now where he's not playing the same type of basketball that he used to play. He's evolved as a player, right? He's averaging 11 assists per game this year, 20 some odd points, whatever. On a really good team in the Eastern Conference, like teams having a lot of success. And I almost feel like he gets downgraded in the mind of like the media and whoever else is making these decisions because he's not a 30 point per game guy anymore. You know what I mean? Like he's not playing like how he used to play with the Rockets when he was the leading scorer of the league. You know, he's the main scorer of the team. Like I feel like he's offensively, he's like, hey, Joel's going to be our guy scoring the ball. Like I feel like he's taken on the role really well, and he's doing a great job of it, of being the main facilitator of that team, and also scoring whenever he needs to. I think you could put him in there. And so I have to take somebody out from the Eastern Conference selections, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think to me, the guys that I would think about taking out would probably be Drew Holiday or DeMar DeRozan. And one of the reasons I say DeMar DeRozan is because, I mean, what have the Bulls done this year? Like, I haven't really heard much about them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, like, I think I would rather have someone like Harden, who's on a good team in the Eastern Conference and is, you know, like I said, like a top 10 MVP guy, than someone like DeRozan, who's probably, I don't even know what his numbers are. I'll pull him up right now. He's averaging 26, 5 and 5. Harden's averaging, let's see what Harden's averaging. Harden's averaging 21, 6, and 11 assists. So I don't know. Do you have a 26, 5 and 5 guy or a 21, 6 and 11 guy? I don't know. The stats are about the same.
Seed, what, the 76ers are the 2nd or 3 seed, and the Bulls are not even in the playoffs, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think, to me, that's why I think I would replace him over. A lot of people are saying Drew Holiday doesn't deserve it, but Drew Holiday's having a career year on a top 3 team in the East.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Drew Holiday deserves it. Plus, it's like many people have said that Drew Holiday is the best on-ball defender in the NBA. Like, I've heard KD say it on a podcast. I've heard like a few different guards say it that have come on podcasts, said he's the best on-ball defender, hardest dude to score in the NBA. So I think you have to take that into effect. So I think he deserves it. He deserves to be there. But DeRozan, I don't know, kind of so-so in my opinion. I think Harden could take that spot over him. Both great players, but to me, I think Harden was a little more deserving this year.
Zach, I got one if you want to keep looking. Pascal Siakam and Julius Randle out. I don't
respect it.
There it is. Pascal Siakam and Julius Randle out. Their stats, I was looking at them, very comparable. Randle averages like a rebound and a half, maybe more. Siakam averages more assists. I think Siakam's just a better player, and I don't like Julius Randle. So let's just move it along.
That's fair.
That's fair enough, dude. That is fair enough. Why don't you like Julius Randle?
I don't know. Same reasons that I don't like other people. I don't like the way he plays. Just not enjoyable for me to watch. Not pleasant.
Bro, that dude is
his game isn't very fun to watch.
No,
for
not
real.
at all.
I mean, he's got good numbers, but his game is just like, I don't know, it's almost like one-dimensional.
Exactly.
It's not a lot to it.
Bro, he got absolutely poked on by Norman Powell the other day. I didn't even know Norman Powell got up like that. He got punched on. But one thing about Julius Randle is that man is going left. He is going left.
He's going left.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys at?
For me, I had Pascal Siakam too. But I had Bam Adebayo going out instead of Julius Randle. I don't know. I think Bam's slightly overrated. Like, they kept talking about him for the past 3 years, and like in the bubble when they made it to the finals, like they were talking about Bam like he was a top 10 player in the league. I'm like, let's slow down a little bit. Dude is He's good, but he also goes through spurts where he doesn't even look like he wants to shoot the ball. When you watch some of the Heat's game, you could take out Julius Randle too. I wouldn't be mad about that. I know a lot of people were mad about Jalen Brunson not getting in, but the problem for me is who are you taking out if you're going to put Jalen Brunson in? I mean, you could maybe take out Drew Holiday, but I just don't see I don't see the Knicks getting 2 All-Stars, and they're like what, the 9th seed right now.
Right.
You're going to pick 2 All-Stars from a 9th seed team. That just doesn't seem right. And then you're going to not pick 2 All-Stars from the 3rd seed 76ers. That just feels wrong.
Exactly.
But I think Jalen Brunson is having a hell of a year, though. I would have almost liked to see Jalen Brunson get in instead of Julius Randle. I think it would have made more sense. Right. And you could have put in someone else. And on the Western side, I mean, the problem, Jaren Jackson Jr. definitely, I don't think, deserved it. I don't even know if Zion Williamson didn't deserve to be a starter. I'll tell you that. Dude has played 30 games, maybe 25 games this year. He just missed his I think 19 straight game last night. How's that equal for you to be a starter?
The games aspect is the only issue with Zion for sure.
For sure. And then Jaren Jackson.
I mean,
Jr.
the numbers are definitely there for Zion. He's a beast.
Oh yeah. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s missed like almost the same amount of games as Anthony Davis and has way worse numbers. But it's also the same thing. I don't think Anthony Davis necessarily deserved it because you're going to put 2 All-Stars on a 12th seed team, and then you're going to miss out. And De'Aaron Fox was definitely a big snub, but the problem there is I don't think there's anyone you can take out and put De'Aaron Fox in. You're not taking Curry out. You're not taking Luka out. You're not taking Dame Lillard out.
They got too many good guards.
You're not taking SGA out, and you're not taking John Moran out.
Yeah.
Who are you going to put in to? Who are you going to take out and put in for? De'Aaron Fox is having a hell of a season. I don't think anyone saw the Kings being this good, but there's no way you're taking any of those players out and putting De'Aaron Fox in.
Yeah, and they at least gave the Kings their flowers and put Sabonis in there in the All-Star game. Like, they deserve to have somebody in it for sure.
Yep, no doubt.
And I think, to me, who's the biggest surprise All-Star? Like, looking back at preseason, for you guys, like, guys that you didn't expect to be in the All-Star game. For me, it's definitely Lauri Markkanen. I did not expect him to be playing at this level. I was
going to pick him too, yeah.
Because he is absolutely
him to be this good.
Dude, he has been a killer this year. And like with the Jazz, like I think everybody expected them to be like the worst team in the league, which right now they're sitting at 9th. They're 500. They're at 9th in the Western Conference. And like they've been competitive all year. So just goes to show sometimes though, it just takes the right environment and the right like opportunity for a player to really shine. And I think this also could have helped him. Like I know this summer he was playing in some European championship. I forget what it was called. Europe Cup. Right? FIBA, what was it? No. Dude, what was it?
You got it. You got it.
What was it, bro? I'm tripping right now.
You got it.
What was it, Caleb?
You got it.
Eurobasket. Eurobasket. Oh my God. Dude, he was balling out in Eurobasket this summer. So I think that helps build confidence 100% too. And for someone like him that's from not as big of a country, he's from what? Is he from Finland or is he from
he's
Scandinavian or I don't know.
He's from one of those countries.
Yeah, I don't know.
Finland or something.
I got nothing on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this dude is from. I think he's from Finland or something. But I mean, for him to go and be the only NBA player on that team and everything and go perform the way he did in the summer, I feel like it definitely carried over for him into the regular season.
Yeah, he's from Finland. I just looked it up.
Happy to see him in there because I like his game. I do like his game. Stretch big.
Yeah, same.
Really skilled.
Yeah, no way. You like a stretch bigs game? That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy, bro? You never would have known it, huh?
Never would have guessed that one.
But I think this is probably the perfect segue. Well, actually, I had one more question now that I think about it, about the All-Star game.
Let's do it.
So we talked about this, and I know JJ Redick on his podcast, I think, or maybe he just came out with like a little video where he said the roster should be expanded, I think, right? He wanted it to be, 15 players per side? Kind of like a regular NBA roster, essentially. And he had some like good arguments for why it should be expanded. I think because like the roster size has changed in the NBA, but in the All-Star game has remained the same or something he was saying. Maybe. Am I right with that? But But then also he said, like, this could be a factor to decide like Hall of Fame or not, and all this other stuff. To me, I think the All-Star game got a little bit skewed whenever they had like the fan voting, and they went back from that, where the fan voting is only 50% of it now. The other 50 is what your coaches, peers, and media or whatever.
Media, yeah.
Which I like that they did that. But to me, I don't even think All-Star games should really be like that big of a Hall of Fame deciding factor. I think it matters more like all NBA appearances.
Right.
Like all NBA teams. If you're on one of those first 3 all NBA teams, you're one of the 15 best players in the league. Like that, I think that weighs a lot more heavily than an All-Star appearance. What do you guys think about that? About the expanding of the roster? I think there's going to be snubs regardless, even if there's 15 guys per team. They're going to find somebody to say, "Oh, he deserved it, and this guy didn't."
Yep.
So I think it's fine. Just leave it at 12 and let it rock.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I mean, because if you expand it too far, then we're going to be talking about players where like that dude definitely shouldn't be an all-star, but he's going to get like Tyrese Huntley making the Pro Bowl in the NFL.
What's his name? Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley or whatever.
Yeah,
we're going to be talking about, there's going to be some player like that we're going to be like, really, that dude made the all-star game in the NBA if you expand it too big. I think that if they're going to change anything, they got to do something with the voting, because the fan voting is ridiculous. You got dudes like Austin Reeves was top 10 in fan voting.
Yeah.
I love Reeves because that's your guys' boy and he's on the Lakers. But in no world should Austin Reeves be top 10 in all-star voting. You know what I mean? Or like there's some other players like Andrew Wiggins was top 5 in all-star fan voting. Andrew Wiggins should never be top 10 in all-star voting. Like people like that, where you're just like, what is going on here?
Just like fair. The crazy fan bases, and like Austin has gotten like a pretty like memeable
got
name.
Like a cult following now.
Yeah, he's got some like meme moments, and everything. So I think
even
that helped his case.
Alex Caruso is always like top 10 in fan voting, which is like just there's no.
I like that. I like that they released kind of the numbers for where the guys fell in every category this year. Like,
oh, they did. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they released like where they fell in the fan voting, where they fell in the media, where they fell in like the coaches and players and stuff. So that was interesting to see, for sure. And I think they should like 15s. I don't think it's too many. I don't know. I don't think 15's too many, because I think the biggest point that like I appreciate and respect is like the expansion of teams. Like we've expanded to 30 NBA teams. We can probably expand to 15 players. Like you're going to have players that come in, and like you said, there's going to be snubs always, and there's going to be like questionable ones always. But at the same time, you also like guys, I don't think you'll have as much injury concern or anything like that. And like, obviously nobody's really doing anything in the All-Star game anyway that's concerning injury wise, but you just add more people in. That's less time guys have to play, like regardless of if they're going to go hard enough to get hurt or not. Like they're still running up and down, and you got some old bodies out there, especially when you got Bron and I mean AD limping around out there possibly. Like you don't want something like that happening. So I think 15's fine, but at the same time, like you said, it also doesn't matter. Like you're gonna have snubs regardless.
We're gonna have this conversation every single year, regardless.
Right. Also, I think like when you were talking about JJ Redick's podcast, someone tweeted, an old NBA player tweeted or something, and he said like when the coaches vote, like they vote in less than like 3 minutes. Like
they don't really care. Take time.
They don't take time. They just write down names and move on. And then JJ Redick, like he quoted it and was like, "I've seen it too. Like I've been in the room it's happened." So I think that's like partially an issue too. Like the coaches' vote should carry some weight. Like they should almost force these guys, like, no, you got to sit down and think about this, not just come in 3 minutes and write some random ass name down and move on. Because it's important to think about who you're voting for, not just write some names down and move on.
Exactly.
It definitely does. It does factor into a legacy a little bit, I think. But I feel like ever since fan voting became a thing, like it's definitely been less and less of a factor as like if a dude is gonna make the Hall of Fame or not. I know like JJ was saying that on his podcast, and I don't think that's as much of the case. And I think they're going back to rookies and sophomores or something, or on the Rising Stars challenge. I know they were doing like World versus US for a while. And then I also saw they're adding, like they did it last year, I think as well. They added some G League guys into the mix of this Rising Stars challenge. And I saw somebody was like, some people are really hating that they're doing that, like adding the G League guys.
KD was hating it.
Yeah, I've seen some
He
stuff
was
that
on a
people are
podcast talking
really,
about it.
really not liking that at all. Like, um, and to me, I think it is what it is. I think it'd be an honor to get selected as like, one of the best young guys in the NBA. But I don't know if they want to bring these G League guys and give them a platform. I know that, like, I think they brought some of the Ignite guys, I think are going to play in it. G League Ignite guys. And then, like, I saw, like, Kenny Lofton Jr. is going to be in it, Mac McClung.
No, but true.
Yeah. And some other good guys from the G. I don't know. I think it could be a good thing just to get those guys gain some exposure and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why people hate on it so crazy, but I will say though, I used to look forward to watching that game when I was younger.
Yeah.
Just like see all this young talent and stuff, and it's usually like, sometimes these guys go on and they don't like come close to cracking an all-star team or something, But like it's fun to like see these guys maybe that you liked in college and stuff. Like they were just in college a couple years ago play on such a big stage like that.
Agreed.
Do you guys want to move on to the draft?
Yeah, let's hop into it, baby.
Let's do it.
Okay. So today's draft, what we're gonna do is the NBA the last few years has had basically the number one vote getter from the Eastern Conference, the number one vote getter from the Western Conference. They've been captains of their respective teams, and they have drafted their players. So out of the pool of, they have to start off, they have to draft the 4 other starters, and then they have to draft the however many guys they got on the bench. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this pool of 24 players, and
Read them
the
off.
3 of us, yeah, I'm not going to read them all off.
Why?
You want me to read off all 24 players?
That's literally quick. Just read them.
All right.
Let the people know.
First of all, let me lay it out for them first, okay? So the way they have to draft is they have to have 2 backcourt players, 3 front court players, and then they have to have like 2, or off the bench they have to have 2 backcourt, 3 front court, 2 wild cards or whatever. But what we're gonna do is 2 backcourts, so 2 guards essentially, 3 front court players, which is forwards and centers, and then we're gonna do one like 6-man who is just anybody who you want to pick. So we're gonna have 6 players on each of our teams, and we're gonna basically be the active captains for these all-star teams. Quickly, I guess I'll read off the names for you guys. The backcourt selections were Drew Holiday, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, John Morant, Jaylen Brown, Dame Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic. The front court players are Joel Embiid, Julius Randle, Bam Adebayo, Domantas Sabonis, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., DeMar DeRozan, Paul George, KD, Bron, Jason Tatum, Zion, Giannis, and the Joker. So, since you guys maybe do all that,
That was really
of
hard.
course, Zach is going to have the first pick as always. Guest goes first, followed by me because I believe last draft Caleb had the second. Or no, actually I had second pick. So Caleb will follow Zach up with the second pick, and then I will go third, and we'll snake it back around. So without further ado, Zack Lehnen, who's going to be the first player to join Team Lehnen?
Like you guys already know, it's a pretty obvious pick. Going with the king. King is the number 1 pick.
Of course. It wouldn't be your team if you didn't get LeBron.
No, sir.
All right. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and for this year, I almost ruined Cobb's day, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, pick him. Go ahead, pick him. Go ahead, pick him.
No,
Go ahead,
I'm
pick
gonna
him.
go KD. I'm gonna go KD. Give me Kevin Durant, please.
So you got KD. Zach got Bron. So I guess I'll have to do it then, huh? You guys just blessed me. So who I'm gonna go? So I got 2 in a row. My first pick in the first round, I'm going to go with the MVP. About to be back-to-back-to-back MVP, Nikola Jokic. I got to grab him.
You're welcome.
Then my second pick, my first pick in the second round, I'm going to go ahead and grab Giannis. So my front court's looking pretty nice so far.
That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and take the other MVP. Go ahead, give me Jason Tatum with my second round pick.
Tatum, huh?
Yep. Zach's
Zach,
got
who you
two.
got? You got two in a
All right,
row.
I got 2 picks here, so I'm gonna go. My first one here, I'm gonna go with Steph Curry, backcourt.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a nice
good
pick.
call.
I know that hurts Caleb, but LeBron and Curry are undefeated when they play on a team together. So got to go with that. And then for my third pick here, I'm gonna go. I'll go Joel Embiid.
Okay.
Go ahead, give me Luca. Please and thank you.
Damn, Luca fell to the eighth overall
That's
pick. Though.
crazy.
That's a pretty good pickup. That's a pretty good pickup there. I'll give you that.
I
So
can't lie. I kind of
then-
forgot about the guards for the first 2 rounds.
So I've got another 2 in a row, correct?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take. Give me Jason Tatum.
I already got him.
You got him? Oh, yeah, you did. My bad. I have it right here. I'm stupid.
He was so happy for that pick too.
I was excited around at my front court. I was like, hold up now. My front court looks crazy. Give me Zion.
That was my
We just
next
we
pick.
got some paint beasts on my team. We're not gonna be able to spread the floor at all.
That was my next pick.
I'll take Zion. I'll take Zion there. And then I need a guard and I need a shooter. I need a shooter. You know what? Actually, you know who I want SGA. I want
That's a good
SGA because he's been
Oh, that
absolutely going
hurts.
crazy this year.
That
I need
hurts.
SGA.
Go ahead then. Go ahead, give me Dame Dalla, please. My team's nasty, bro. My team's filthy.
Pick.
Zach.
I'm gonna round out my front court here. Go ahead and give me Paul George.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
PG. And then you've got your next pick. You got the back-to-backs.
All right, let's see here. So I need one more.
You need one backcourt and
I
a
need
6-man
one
can be
backcourt.
whoever.
Let's go. Yeah, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell.
Ooh.
Good pick.
I was trying to decide between him and SGA.
I was trying to pick between. I was thinking him or Kyrie, but Donovan Mitchell's been going stupid this year.
Ooh, we give me huh. You know what? Why don't you go ahead and give me you know what? Give me some bonus. Let me get some bonus.
Leading the league in double doubles.
Yeah, let me get some bonus.
This is tough.
Let me get some bonus, baby.
Great play.
I need
Great
an
pick.
actual big.
I mean, dude, you'll be just fine with Tatum, KD, and Sabonis. I think.
That's why I threw some bonus in there. I need an
I
actual
mean,
big.
and you have the biggest dude in the backcourt selection.
Luka.
All right, I need a guard. Y'all let me get him. Y'all let me get him. So let me get the best ball handler in NBA history. Let me get Kyrie.
Hopefully he shows up to the arena that night.
Let me get Kyrie, man. Kyrie at 15th overall. And isn't he a starter this year? Um, and then for my sixth man, who else do I want? Who else do I want to give? Who else do I want on my squad, man? I think I want another guard because I've got a lot of like bigs. Like I got some actual dudes that are actually going to be in the paint. Um, you know what? I'll take Tyrese Halliburton to just dime these dudes up. To just dime them up. Just throw some lobs. All you got to do is run down the floor and throw lobs to Zion and Giannis. Every once in a while, let Jokic do his thing, you know.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and six man. I'll take probably quite possibly the most exciting player on the list. Go ahead, give me John Morant.
Yeah, it's an all right pick.
That's a great pick for a sixth man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, for an all-star game setting, honestly, that's probably like one of the best guys you can have on your squad
Man.
because he's just gonna do crazy stuff.
All right, for my sixth man right here. Shout out my University of Arizona Wildcats, number 5 in the nation, 21-3. Shout out to the alumni. I'm going Lauri Markkanen, Utah Jazz.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so let's talk about who didn't get into our teams. Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, DeMar DeRozan, Jaren Jackson Jr., Bam Adebayo, and Julius Randle.
Jaylen Brown not getting picked is kind of wicked.
I almost went Jaylen Brown as my sixth man, but I ended up not doing it. But yeah,
Yeah, you gotta rock with your guy. That's fair.
he's the only one that you really think.
I kind of think I was thinking about Brown too. I was fully expecting Caleb to take him just to like keep them Celtics, like the Celtics two guys together. I thought you were gonna take him instead of Dame.
Nah,
Is what I
I'm
was
cool
thinking.
with Dame. This is Dame time, baby.
You
Come
do
on now.
you do love Dame though.
Yeah, it's Dame time.
You love Dame and you love Steph.
Mm-hmm.
I know that hurts you that you didn't get the chance to pick up Steph, Caleb.
That's okay. That's okay.
But no, I'm happy with my team. I'm happy
yeah.
with my team.
I mean, my team's getting dubs, so I know I'm happy with mine.
And my team will punch on you.
I'm happy with
Well,
my
two
team.
guys will.
I got the highest IQ player in history with all shooters around him.
Sounds like what the Lakers need to win.
Exactly.
Dude, you do have a lot of shooters though, geez.
Curry, Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, and Lauri Markkanen. I think all 4 of them are shooting 40% from 3.
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell has been killing it this year, man. 70. Man,
Yeah, that's tough.
I love the way that Cleveland Cavaliers team is structured. I like their lineup. They're deep, dude.
Yeah, they're good.
I think I'm pulling for them in the Eastern Conference. I think I'm gonna pull for the Cavs. Shout out to my boy Mark Ingram. Or Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram. Kinda.
Kind of. It just sounded funny. My boy Marcus.
Kinda.
Kind of,
Yes,
yeah.
sir, Marcus.
Shout out my boy
Shout
Marcus.
out Mark Ingram, baby.
Yeah. Bro, actually funny story about that. Bro, when we were in I think we were in North Dakota we'd had to have Mark on to ask him about to ask him about it. I think it's when we were in North Dakota for your wedding, bro. Because Marcus was there, right?
Yeah.
So his name's Marcus Ingram, you know? And we pull up to the bar to try and go into the bar the night before your wedding. We all kind of went out, had some drinks, you know? And we all have IDs from Missouri, Illinois, whatever, you know, and we're in North Dakota. And T Long gives the dude his ID, and the dude's like not feeling it, like not want to let him in. Oh,
What?
this is fake, whatever. And I'm like on dude's ass, of course, you know. I mean, I'm a little testy, so I'm like, bro, it's a real ID. We're here for my brother's wedding. Like, bro, come on, like, we don't look like we're 21 years old. Like, come on, now listen to the damn bar. Like, plus this is a college town. Like, you're gonna have people from different states coming in the bar anyway. And then Marcus goes up and he gives him the dude his ID. And the dude's like, you think I'm stupid? You think I don't know who Mark Ingram is? Like, you thought that was like funny? Like, he thought like Marcus made a fake ID. Like, Marcus made a fake ID and like just used like Mark Ingram, the running back's like
Running
name
back.
on his ID to like make the fake and like make a fake name up and shit. And he's like, that's my name. Like, that's my real name. It's Marcus Ingram. This dude like was like just flexing on us, trying to. I think, bro, I swear I remember this, but I think it was there. It was either there. It could have been in Cleveland, I guess, whenever we went for Marcus's wedding this summer. But yeah, just a funny story because I called him that. But all right, let's go. Let's wrap it up with what we usually wrap it up with. Is there anything any shows or anything you're watching right now? Shows or movies that you've watched recently, Zach, that you would suggest to the people listening? That's what we've been wrapping it up with lately.
I just finished Tulsa King on Paramount Plus. It's got Sylvester Stallone in it. The dude that created Yellowstone created this show, and it's kind of Sylvester Stallone's like an old mobster that was in jail for like 25 years. He gets out, goes back to New York, and like everything's changed because it's been 25 years. And the family basically like kicks him to the curb and they send him to Tulsa. They're like, yeah, there's nothing for you in New York, go to Tulsa. So he's like, this 70-year-old former mobster in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma trying to like make his way and stuff. And he's like, can't believe that weed's legal, like doesn't understand how to like cell phones or like Google because he's like, been in jail for 25 years. So it's kind of interesting. Just I think it's like 9 episodes long for the first. They only have 1 season out, but I actually enjoyed it a lot.
That sounds good, dude.
It was kind of.
I've never even heard of it.
It's on Paramount Plus. It was a pretty good show.
Good.
So I'd recommend that one.
That sounds really good. Caleb, you got anything? I know you've had one like every time. You even had one last time whenever we didn't close out with it.
We started watching How I Met Your Father on Hulu. We're only 2 episodes in. It's pretty decent. Like it's fine. It's like a mindless watch more than anything. Other than that, we've been busy, so we haven't watched anything really. So nope, don't got anything else.
All right.
Top?
The only show I've watched in the last week is The Chosen, and it's a show about Jesus Christ, the Messiah, and his life, and some of the miracles that he performed. So I watched the first episode the other day, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty good, and you could see kind of the character building of you get to see these biblical figures more as real people in this show. So I thought it was a pretty cool show. It's on Netflix. So if anybody's interested in that type of thing, like if you're religious or Christian and you like to learn more, I think it could be good for you. It's called The Chosen on Netflix. So yeah, that's all we got for you guys today. Y'all stay safe out there. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Peace.